representing his home country of Brazil is Diego Herzog, getting ready to take on UFC veteran David Mitchell in this submission-only 10-minute BJJ super fight at 220 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, both fighters are now in the cage, ready to get things going for our first and only 10-minute round here in this BJJ Super Fight. Once again, here is the voice of the Dragonhouse cage, John Rayboy.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is a one-round, no-gi BJJ Super Fight exhibition. There will be one 8-minute round, not a point system, submissions only. In the blue corner, you got a second, hold on. In the blue corner, in MMA, his record is 22-7. In other systems, 2-minute to count, he weighed 209 pounds. He's 38 years old and fights for Fabio Prado BJJ out of Sacramento, California. He is David Crazy Train Mitchell.
The UFC veteran David Crazy Train Mitchell all set to take on Diego.
And his opponent, who weighed in at 195.5 pounds. In MMA, his record is 6-2-1. He's 34 years old and fights for the following teams: Koa Training Academy, Ralph Gracie BJJ, AKA, and World Team USA. He fights out of Morgan Hill, California, Diego Nosferatu Herzog. Your referee for this fight is Charles Gracie's own
Cristiano Xavier,
8 minutes on the clock.
Official referee for this 8-minute, one-round, submission-only, no-gi jiu-jitsu super fight. David Mitchell, Diego Herzog. And here we go. Looking to pull guard immediately is David Mitchell, scooting his butt towards his opponent. And they're now in half guard.
Already he's got that deep half guard in.
Got a nice underhook, does Diego Herzog. Herzog going to pass guard and get to side control, very close to doing so. The half guard of Mitchell is wide open.
Looks like Mitchell wants to work from half guard here. Didn't really try to go to the full guard. And Diego looks for the mount.
Diego very, very close to passing the guard of Mitchell. And they're now in what's called butterfly guard, which is a type of open guard, and now they go back to half guard.
Staying with that deep half is David Mitchell.
Diego Herzog goes right back to that underhook, looking to press the shoulder blades of his opponent down to the mat, which would give him more control. And now the guard is open, and back to half guard. And now Mitchell almost looked like he was going for a rubber guard there for a very brief second. But so far, Diego Herzog doing an okay job of controlling his opponent. Back into half guard we go.
You gotta be wondering if David Mitchell is starting to think this was a bad idea to pull guard. So far, unable to do anything from his back.
And once again, Diego Herzog very close to passing the guard, but you know, a guy like Mitchell is so strong that his guard is going to be hard to pass.
Yeah, Herzog's got that left foot sunk in there. He needs to apply some pressure or lets it go. Lets it go.
And what Mitchell needs to do now is he needs to do what's called shrimping, which is to push away the hips of his opponent and slide his hips out. And I would say his best bet right now is to shrimp out, free his hips, and start over. Start back to square one, stand up, and see if he can take down his opponent.
Nice pass.
Oh, and we're now very, very close to full mount.
Diego to his feet, tries to step over the guard of Mitchell.
Mitchell's doing a nice job of not allowing his opponent to pass guard.
Yeah, Mitchell's definitely got a very good guard game here going on. So far, I haven't seen any kind of submission attempts.
And you know, the problem with the crowd getting involved and invested in a fight like this is that it doesn't look like too much is going on, but at this very, very high level of grappling, one single mistake could really cost you the whole fight. And both of these fighters are so technical. The sport of jiu-jitsu is one of the most technical combat sports, if not the most technical combat sport in existence. And so they're just being very careful to not make any mistakes at all, because literally a single mistake could cost you the fight.
Yeah, looks like Mitchell's attacking the leg now.
Mitchell's doing what's called reaping the knee. Now what Mitchell could do from here, if he gets his arms free, is use that position of reaping the knee to set up a leg lock, because the leg of Diego Herzog is not in the best position right now. Additionally, Mitchell could set up a sweep, and he is attacking a leg lock. Looking for a heel hook is David Mitchell. And Mitchell's still attacking the leg of Herzog.
Yeah.
And it looks like he lost it. Oh, but the leg of Herzog is still intertwined in with his own.
Herzog out of danger. So far, I think Herzog is winning this fight. He's definitely controlling the top position, which could be scoring most points in the referee's eyes.
Yeah, definitely. But keep in mind, this is not an MMA fight, so there's no points, there's no winners, unless we see a submission. David Mitchell playing very defensively. Oh, Diego Herzog successfully passes the guard of David Mitchell. He's now locked in side control, and now he's able to work for a submission.
Let's see what he does from here.
Now, David Mitchell does not want to allow Diego Herzog to get higher up, closer to his head and chest, so that's why he's pushing his opponent away and keeping him towards his waist. He does not want Herzog to be close to his chest and head. And now looking for a leg lock are both men.
Mitchell needs to get up. Too late.
Mitchell's in butterfly guard. What he can do from butterfly guard is set up a sweep, but it looks like we're going to transition back into half guard, which is where most of this fight has taken place so far.
Diego's corner is asking how much time is left.
This fight is over halfway done, and so far there has not been too many submission attempts. It looks like David Mitchell almost started to attempt a triangle choke there, but I have a feeling this fight will have no winner. Now Mitchell's trying to pull in and collapse the outside knee of Diego Herzog.
Yeah.
Now his intention for that was to do what's called a sweep or reversal and end up on top, but he was unsuccessful. And now Diego Herzog is going to pass the guard once again.
Just two very well-known world-class grapplers here. Neither one of them wanted to give up anything.
Now Diego Herzog back in side control. Looking to place his knee on the belly of David Mitchell, and he does for a brief second. And there is 10 seconds to go in our first and only round, and this fight will not have a winner. We will go to a draw as this no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu super fight comes to a close.
That was fun to watch. A little different than what we've been used to seeing all night long.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Like I said, I'm really glad that they included these two jiu-jitsu fights because it's really important for the crowd to see them. And it sounds to me like the crowd likes what they saw.
Absolutely.
And with the official decision, here is John Rayboy.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause? These two Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu masters just showed us 8 minutes straight of really strong chess you play with your body. Thanks very much to both of them, David Crazy Train Mitchell and Diego Nosferatu Herzog.
There you have it, folks. Very good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu matchup there between these two super Brazilian fighters here.
Yeah, having jiu-jitsu that's that technical and that high level is what every young jiu-jitsu fighter dreams of.